we're back. I'm very excited. We have Chris Darnell, who is the urban designer for Hilton Head Island. Delightful to meet you finally.
Thank
I
you.
mean, there's a lot going on in Coligny, so we're going to get into that conversation in a second.
Sure.
But quickly, give us a quick synopsis about you.
I'm trained as a landscape architect. Went to school for a landscape architect. I originally at the University of Kentucky, moved down to South Georgia, met my wife, and then moved here about 22 years ago.
So you've seen a lot of change.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you have. Which makes it very appropriate to talk about this project down in the Coligny area. Has seen a lot of change over recent years, but big ones coming up. Lowcountry Celebration Park.
I'd just like to remind everybody that this is tax increment finance district money, so that's what's funding this. I say that because it's meant to spur, this investment's meant to spur growth in the area on the private side, and I think we're already seeing that with the new hotel. And there's lots of things going on, people renovating their buildings, so I'm really excited about that. But to that end, the park, this is a schematic of the park. I'm sorry, I've kind of turned around here. Nassau Street is up here and the beach parking is down here. A lot of people may not know that Nassau Street was not a road through. You were actually driving through the Circle Center parking lot. Well, the town purchased that right of way, and so it'll be a full-fledged street. So I think it'll be a lot easier, a lot cleaner. It'll have on-street parking. All from Nassau, you'll have the Children's Museum and the Bandshell Pavilion. And then sort of behind the Bandshell Pavilion, we're real excited about the destination playground. We're calling the Adventure Playground. And we can talk about that later. And then over here, there's the entrance to the park, a pavilion with restrooms and drop-off for trolley or buses, whatever.
This Pope Avenue along here, is that where the entrance would be?
Okay, I'm sorry, Pope
Okay.
Avenue is here.
Yeah.
So the main, this will be a signalized intersection down here. This is Lagoon Road intersection. So it'll come in through here. Here's the drop-off. And that's sort of the main entrance to the park, as well as the beach parking that's already there.
So where are we in this process?
It's a 14-month construction period. We're about 2 months in, so about this time next year, 2020, the park should be open.
That is exciting. I
Yes,
mean, that's
ma'am.
really a good timeline
We're
too, how
excited
quick
about
that
it.
is. Where did this come from? Who had the foresight to create this?
This has been in the discussion. Town's been talking about a park in this area for, I think, 20, 30 years. There's been a lot of discussion about it. And it finally just, right before Matthew, the plans kind of came together, and we actually went out to bid before Matthew, but with all that, had to pull back, so we're getting underway now.
This is going to provide a lot of neat opportunities. And you've got some breakdown details about some of these things, playground and more. Let's take a look at what you've got to share with us here.
If you can get a good look at this, this is the pavilion that looks out onto the lawn. I think you'll see that open area, and it's just a lawn, but it's highly planned or intensely planned. It's meant to accommodate fairs and festivals, so it's wired for electrical service, so bouncy houses and booths can hook up without people tripping over wires and things like that. It's about the size of a football field, the lawn is, and this is the Bandshell Pavilion, which serves as a stage that looks out onto that lawn. The pavilion can also be used as a shelter, if you want to have get-togethers, family reunions, things like that.
And they can reserve it at some point in time.
Yes, ma'am.
And they can do those things.
It has a similar
Yes.
look to
I'm
what
sorry.
Shelter Cove has at this point, right?
Yes, yes. And picking up on that same look, just next door, we're real excited to have as a partner the Sandbox Children's Museum. So this will be the new location for the Sandbox Children's Museum. And again, we're still on Nassau, just right next door. It's going to be a lot more open and airy, same kind of
Now, are all these
architectural
being
feel.
built at the same time, simultaneously?
Yes, ma'am. If you
Oh,
look,
wow.
if you look there now, we'll get to it. The restroom building, you'll see the block walls for the restroom building already going up. This particular building has hurricane, earthquake drains, and they've already been installed. So, and we've got the building permit, so you should see this going vertical pretty soon, along with the band shell.
Wow.
Beautiful structure, isn't it?
It's beautiful, and I love the fact it's well done. You know, it's indigenous to the island. You know,
Yes,
this
ma'am.
looks like it all belongs versus something that doesn't belong.
And it's going to be a LEED certified building, so a green building.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
Okay.
good.
And then going on around the corner, we talked about the playground.
Oh, wow.
It's a kid's dream right
It
there.
is a kid's dream.
wanna be part of it.
We're calling it a destination playground. This is a custom designed ship just for this park. You shouldn't see it anywhere else. And we're calling it the Adventure Playground after the ship that brought William Hilton to Hilton Head. So, it kind of in keeping with that theme, you're going to be able to play, but you're also going to be able to learn about the environment and history of Hilton Head. You know, kids will come and learn about that.
Is this sort of actual ship size? Is this to scale or?
I don't think it's to scale. I don't know that. Don't know that for sure. But I will say that the sails on the ship are designed to serve as shade structures to help shade and keep this equipment as comfortable as possible in the summer heat.
Do we have a name for the ship?
The Adventure.
The
It's
Adventure.
the Adventure, and we're calling the playground the Adventure Playground.
Okay.
This is great.
Well, that is every kid's dream.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Hope
Now
you-
we just need water cannons.
Well, you know, we might be able to.
Just thinking out loud.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And then this is the very last major building on the island. It'll be sort of between the lawn and the existing beach parking. And there's a drop off for trolleys and vans, whatever, for the park. So it's sort of the main entrance to the park. And this building will have restrooms in it. There's a breezeway. You can have pick up information, things like that.
So this is really close to the beach. You can
Yes, ma'am.
go to here and then you can go to the beach. So you have both experiences in a reasonable amount of time during the day, right?
Yes,
And
and
you
that's
can
a
have
good
lunch in
point.
the middle, and you can have lunch in the middle.
Right across the street at Caligny Plaza. It's meant to tie into the beach parking or the beach access, the park, the beach park. I'm sorry. We've had a lot of success with that and the fountain. I mean, you see kids out there all the time. So this is just meant to be an extension of that park on up into.
And this will displace some of the parking that we have now. How many cars are we thinking? Do we have any of those numbers?
There's actually, once the park is complete, there's going to be, I believe, 100 extra parking spots. I can show you where.
It's still going to be free parking?
Still be free
Okay, all
parking.
right.
We like that.
So you can see down here, this is all new parking down here. And we've got, like I said, some additional parking along Nassau Street. And for all those that are environmentally cued in, as we all should be, it's all pervious parking. So that the storm water's running right through and soaking into the ground.
And let's talk about this little waterway, like a little lagoon pond there.
Lagoon.
Share with us about that.
Well, like I said, the Adventure Playground is right here. So the lagoon is set up. Well, there was a lagoon there, and we've just reshaped it. It's going to be replanted with native vegetation, and hopefully a lot of the wildlife that was there prior to us doing the construction will come back. And I say that because
Like the alligators?
no, the turtles.
Okay.
But you'll notice there are boardwalks that poke through into the lagoon. And we talked about how we were going to do some education in the playground. Well, that's our opportunity to talk about that wildlife that's in the lagoon and the flora and fauna that are on the banks too. So we're hoping that'll return, but we're planning to plant the banks back.
There's just so much excitement. So this is, we're in August, so next year at this time,
Yes.
we will be having a conversation celebrating ribbon cutting ceremony.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, there'll be a big one. There'll be a big party. I don't know what it's going to be like right now. We're concentrating on just getting the park built, but yes, there's going to be a big celebration.
And what about maintenance from there, maintaining the park? Whose shoulders does that fall on?
That will fall on facilities management, which is a department in the town. I believe they still have that to work out. They've a year to work that out, but I believe they're going to be bringing additional people on to help with this maintenance.
I love seeing the improvements. Again, you've been here as long as I have, and just to see the changes down on the south end over these last few years have been really fantastic and exciting for sure.
Yes, very.
Well, you know, it's nice to see everything come to fruition. We've been talking about it for a long time.
Yes,
now
ma'am.
it's in action, so that's great. Congratulations
Thank
to the
you.
whole community.
Yes.
Well, thank you all for watching this episode of 843 TV, where we've had a lot of great things to share, and we hope to see you next time, where communities
Come to speak.